One, two, three, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon. Oh.
We're going right. Yeah. So, you want to do the opening remarks for this, please?
Yeah, welcome along to segment number 2 of this week's Football Referee. So let's carry on with our conversations. I'm Trevor Gear, and he calls me Bruv.
And I'm Emmy Hikins, and he calls me Cos. He does call me Cos. Welcome to the second segment of the Football Referee. Now, so Marmoush, his reason for wanting to leave to go to a club in Turkey, Fenerbahce, is that he is open to joining a club where he would get more playing time. Now, it's been at the African Cup of Nations, so that's understandable. But he did get fielded on the match on Saturday. Was it Saturday or Sunday? Well, at the weekend.
It was on Saturday, against Wolves.
Against Wolves, yeah. So he did, and he scored a goal, didn't he? He did play well.
Yes, he did, yeah.
He did score a goal, yeah. Now, so Manchester United's got Semenyo. Is his reason for wanting to leave? Is it pushed, or is going willingly? Was it pushed? Or we think it's pushed?
Marmoush, do you mean? Yeah. No, I don't think he's pushed at all. And I think what this highlights is this dilemma, in a way, that the top clubs have. Now, I mean, Palace this season have had European games, which I think are partly, if not largely, responsible for our loss of form. Palace have played more games this season than any other Premier League team. So, of course, the top teams, the top 4 particularly, maybe top 5 as well, or 6 even, they can get into Europe, the Champions League, the Europa Cup, etc., which gives them a lot more games. Now, if you're talking of the conference, you play on Thursdays, which doesn't help your weekend, obviously, and Palace have come a cropper on this, undoubtedly. So it's not always an advantage to be in the top 4, 5, 6 clubs when they're almost always going to be in Europe. Now, to cope with that, and this is what Palace haven't done, but most of the top clubs there, or most of the top clubs, and not including Palace in that, they make sure they have to have a squad big enough to cope. You know, I think they name, is it 25 players beginning of the season they have to register as the players who will play in the competitions. So they do that, and they make sure they've got good quality players. It's no good having, a bench of 9 players nowadays with a very low or relatively low caliber of players. You've got to have players who can come on and either improve the team as impact substitutes or just are very good in their own right. But of course, the downside for players in that is most very good players who will be at the top teams, they don't want to sit around on the bench hoping to get on, often in the second half, often with 10, 15 minutes or less to go, because that's not their talent and their ability. The fact they were bought by those clubs, or they've been nurtured up through the system in those clubs, it means they want to play. They're footballers. They want to play week after week. And I think when Marmoush came, it may or may not have been when Haaland had a bit of an injury a year or 2 ago, and he started, and he was quite evident from his first kick. He was a class player. He was very good, and whenever he's come on, which he does do as a substitute, he shows his quality. Most teams would love to have him as either a striker or playing just behind the strikers, a number 10 maybe, because he's that good. So you can totally understand when someone says, look, I'm obviously not going to get much of a look in here. Haaland's got this, is it 5-year contract, or it's not a 9-year?
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, 3 beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro sometimes joins us on the show.
Contract, was it? I can't really remember, but this long contract, like $500,000 a week or whatever. So nobody there is going to get much of a chance to take his place. Now, Saturday, when Haaland was ostensibly dropped, Marmoush got a good chance to come in, and of course he took his chance, as he always would and does, and he scored. But was Haaland dropped, or was he really being rested? Because they got a game tonight, haven't they, against Galatasaray at the Etihad. So this obviously, the Champions League, Guardiola wants to win that if he can. So I don't think he dropped Haaland, and he also was against Wolves. I don't believe he would disrespect Wolves, but Manchester City at home should beat Wolves. They should beat most people, let's face it. So he could afford to put on a less than normal first team. I don't think he started with Foden, certainly Haaland and one or two others. I don't think Haaland even came on, did he? I don't think he did. So he was resting him maybe for this week. So Marmoush may not get a look in again tonight in that game. So this is what's highlighted, and because then what happens is, if the player is, obviously these players are very good players, they're not going to be content just to sit there and take their £300,000 or £400,000 a week, whatever they're on at Manchester City, just to sit there and do it. They love the game. If anything, I'm a bit surprised he would go to Fener, as you pronounced it, in Turkey. No disrespect to that league or Turkey. He may have people there. He knows people there. Who knows what? But it wouldn't be viewed as one of the top leagues. And I'd have thought somebody of his quality would want to go to, either Spain, Italy, Germany, France, or else here in the Premier League. I don't suppose he'd go to another Premier League club, although you never know. So this is the dilemma that managers and coaches have to manage. That's what they're paid for, I guess. That you're going to have players, certainly in the top clubs, who are going to want to, and the other clubs who are going to want to play. Now, I think I said earlier that Villa have bought Tammy Abrahams, and I think when he was at Chelsea, he was a regular, but again, I think he was rotated quite a bit, which eventually, I think, made him think, well, I might as well go somewhere else, which is what he did. So he's coming back to Villa. Now, you've got to say, whose place is he going to take? Is this going to threaten Ollie Watkins' place? I don't think it would threaten Morgan, whatever his name is. What's his name? Morgan Rogers. Yeah. I think he's an established person, often playing out on the channel there. But somebody will have to give way.
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, three beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on